All right, we're ready to go again for another week. I hope you had a nice weekend. I hope you're well. I've got some media training coming up. I'm running a session this morning, actually, for Business Gateway, looking at why your business needs a blog. But something caught my eye in the papers over the weekend. I was looking through the Herald. I always enjoy reading the letters page, and somebody had actually written in on Saturday's Herald letters page complaining about people being interviewed on television and radio starting every answer with, you know. The verbal crutch, which we talk about in presentation skills and media training. And where's this come from and how do you get rid of it? And so what I want to say to you today is, this annoys people. People get annoyed with these verbal crutches. Starting the sentence with, maybe it's a word like so. You hear that quite a lot. They start every answer with so. This particular individual moaning about you know. So these do annoy people. They detract from what you're saying. You can end up getting ridiculed. People, if it's a long interview, people start counting the number of times you're going to use the verbal crutch rather than listening to what you're saying. I think it diminishes your authority. It makes you sound a little bit weak, maybe needy, maybe desperate. A lot of people think that these are Americanisms that have found their way into our lexicon. A lot of people think it's maybe something that you might do when you're nervous as well. So recognize that they're noticeable, that we want to get rid of these. And this is the bit that hardly anybody's going to tell you, but I will. Getting rid of them requires practice. You need to practice and practice and practice. And when you go through media training or presentation skills training, yes, you'll be in a better position than you were when you started, but you'll still need to practice. And one of the smartest ways to practice is to get one of these, which I'm sure many of you have, pop the voice recorder on and start interviewing yourself and get into that habit of not using the verbal crutch. And go through it again and again and again and again. And this is the laborious, boring, tedious, frustrating bit that hardly anybody talks about. If you want to get good at anything, you have to practice and practice hard. And I think with something like media training, there's three types of people. There's people that just cross their fingers and hope for the best, and they take me as I am and we'll wing it. Then there's people that it's like they flick a switch. They go into presentation mode or they go into, media interview mode. And then there's the third group of people, and this is where you want to get to, where they have fundamentally changed. Right? They have improved. They've progressed from where they were to where they are now. They're different people. They're living and breathing it. It's become now an extension of who they are. Being able to present, being able to give an interview, not using those verbal crutches. They're committed to a course of action that has changed them, so they're good at this now. And I would liken it to sport, and I'd liken it to playing a musical instrument. Getting good at presentations, getting good at giving interviews, getting good at speaking in public, fundamentally changes who you are. And so you are almost obsessed with it. You're reading about it, you're watching other people, you're critiquing them. You can't watch the news without thinking, what are they doing there? What can I learn from that? And it's not about criticizing other people, slagging them off. It is about, oh, I like the way they did that. What was that? I could use that. And taking that on board from a whole variety of sources until you become your own version of all of that, and you become something so much stronger. So practice is absolutely fundamental to this.